Now, will the class of 2023 please be seated? I'd like to introduce now the primary school choir. They're going to play 2 songs for us to show the spirit of Conti. Thank you very much to the primary school choir. Can we have another round of applause for that fabulous performance? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to introduce Mr. Scott On, the head of the senior school, who will give his address to the class of 2023.
Your Royal Highnesses, honoured guests, members of the board, colleagues and graduates. Making a speech at a graduation is both an honour and a huge responsibility. And as I started to plan for this year, I had to think carefully. There's a danger that each graduation speech is pretty similar to the one the year before. And I started to think about what would be really relevant today in our world that we live in, and the very rapid pace of change that we live in at this time. And I thought about key points in history when major inventions and developments took place. Things like the Industrial Revolution with the seed drill and the printing press, and things like later refrigeration. And I spoke to Mrs. Henwood, our head of history, and I asked her for some pivotal moments in history, and she added a few more in for me. She talked about the invention of the wheel, currency, the internet, electricity, transportation. And then she thought a little bit more outside of the box, and she thought about things like wheeled suitcases. Aren't they brilliant? COVID-19 vaccine, tin cans, reading glasses, public libraries. But the thing that I couldn't stop thinking about was artificial intelligence and things like, we keep hearing the words ChatGPT. I'd heard it again and again, but I hadn't actually interacted with it. So I thought that I would try and use ChatGPT for the first time to prepare a graduation speech and see how well it did. And I know that some of our graduates may well have used it, possibly in preparation for extended essays or internal assessments, but that is part of the future. It's where we are today. And so I put some careful details into ChatGPT. I asked it to prepare an inspirational and motivational graduation speech for the graduating class. I asked it, as I always do in speeches, to make some reference to Liverpool Football Club, a matter very close to my heart. And we went through a process of iterative improvements as I went back to it and said, I'd like you to do this and I'd like you to do that. And we ended up really reducing the footballing content within it. So I'm going to read you now what ChatGPT pulled out. And I anticipate in the audience you've either engaged with it quite significantly or not at all. And so this is what artificial intelligence can do today. Here's the speech that it produced. Your Royal Highnesses, honoured guests, members of the board, colleagues and graduates. Together, we gather here to celebrate a momentous occasion, the graduation of our remarkable class of International Baccalaureate Diploma Programme students from the British International School of Jeddah. As we reflect upon the journey that has brought us to this day, I wish to remind you of the power of resilience and the indomitable nature of human spirit. In the face of adversity, there is a remarkable capacity within each and every one of us to rise above and achieve greatness. This reminds us that success is not solely determined by our circumstances, but by our unwavering belief in ourselves and our ability to persevere. Imagine a situation where everything seems stacked against you, where the odds appear unsurmountable and doubts creep into your mind. It is in these challenging moments that the true character is revealed and extraordinary accomplishments are born. In one such instance, individuals faced overwhelming odds in a decisive moment. Despite being outmatched, they summoned an unwieldy spirit and unleashed their hidden potential, defying expectations and surpassing even their own limitations. Their journey serves as a testament to the incredible power of persistence and the strength that lies within us all. It exemplifies the triumph of the human spirit and teaches us that setbacks are merely stepping stones towards future successes. As you embark on the next phase of your lives, remember that challenges will inevitably arise. But it is during these moments that you must draw upon your inner resilience and unwavering determination. Each of you possesses within you the ability to overcome obstacles, shatter barriers, and achieve greatness. Believe in your talents, embrace your unique perspectives, and remain steadfast in your pursuit of excellence. Together, as a diverse and dynamic graduating class, you have demonstrated exceptional intellectual growth, empathy, and a commitment to making a positive change in the world. I have no doubt you will continue to inspire and lead, creating meaningful change in your communities and beyond. Today marks a significant milestone in your lives, but it is only the beginning of your exciting journey. Cherish the memories you have made, the friendships you have forged, and the knowledge you have acquired. As you step forth into the world, remember that you have the power to shape your own destiny. Embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories, and let your unwavering spirit guide you towards a future filled with endless possibilities. Congratulations, graduates. May your path be illuminated with success, joy, and fulfillment. That was ChatGPT. That's not me, that was ChatGPT. But I think it's remarkably impressive. Remarkably impressive. And that is where we stand at this juncture in our evolution and development. A computer can do that for us. And I wasn't trying to be lazy, I was trying to embrace where we are today. Now, whilst it's impressive what artificial intelligence can do, there are lots of reservations in the world as well. There's a lot of political noise around artificial intelligence. A gentleman called Sam Altman, who's the CEO of OpenAI, who are the providers of ChatGPT, has in the last week himself called for significant regulation and regulators to catch up with the artificial intelligence movement. We know that AI can provide human-like responses, but it can also make calamitous mistakes and inaccuracies as well. It's not the finished article by any step of our imaginations. And that Sam Altman, he said a couple of quotes from him. I think if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong. We want to be vocal about that. We want to work with the governments to prevent that from happening. He also said, there will be an impact on jobs. We try to be very clear about that. And that impact on jobs impacts all of us, but more than anyone in this room, our graduating class. The bank Goldman Sachs has tried to quantify in recent times what the impact on jobs might be. And they've estimated a loss of 300 million jobs globally arising from artificial intelligence. Now, we've got an election, a presidential election taking place this year in the United States of America. There are concerns that artificial intelligence could negatively impact that process. We've all heard the words fake news before. There are even more extreme concerns about machines taking over the world. That brings us back to some movies of 20 years ago. Things like The Terminator from 1984, The Matrix from 1999, and I, Robot from 2004. So, what are the implications arising from these situations for societies? The Future of Life Institute have been quite vocal and said AI systems with human competitive intelligence can pose profound risks to society and humanity. Graduates, this is the world that you enter as you leave our school and you go out into the wider world. My message to you is don't be worried or afraid, but be aware. I'm confident that you and your generation will rise to the challenges presented. I suggest to you that the key is to be aware of the tools available to you, to use them in a carefully selected and considered way, and ensure appropriate safety measures are in place. But more importantly, never underestimate the value of human relationships and interaction. Recognize that none of us can be successful in isolation, either with or without artificial intelligence. I wish you all the very best in finding a way through this rapidly changing landscape, where the pace of change and development is only likely to accelerate. Be true to yourselves and to others. Enjoy what lies ahead. Celebrate your successes with others. We trust and believe in you. That's me. Okay? But just as we talk about celebrating, I would like to invite up a special guest this evening. We all know that the IB Diploma Programme is incredibly rigorous and challenging. And in our midst tonight, we have a graduate from the graduating class of 2022 who achieved the maximum point score of 45 points. Let me put that in perspective. On an annual basis, approximately 100 students achieve that globally. And so I'd like us to make special celebration this evening to Marine Sharafuddin. And Marine, if you could come up, please, I have a little something for you. Marine actually said some really key words to me at the end. You'll never walk alone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Scott. We'll put you in your day's isolation next week for using ChatGPT. I'd now like, please, to introduce Mr. Ian Williams, who's going to give his address as the Director of School.
Thank you very much. I shall begin by putting on one of those devices that enables us to read, one of the things that was invented. Members of the royal family, ladies, gentlemen, mums and dads, brothers, sisters, IB1, members of the board, teachers, and representatives from the Ministry of Education. I haven't used ChatGPT, so sorry, this is just going to be me. Not as good as Mr. Scottorn or ChatGPT. What is the best thing that you can do? What is the best way forward? What is the best plan of action? Just over 100 years ago, in London, the main form of transportation was horses. And horses do things on the roads that cars do not. And extrapolating forward, many people were worried that London was going to be covered in over 1 meter of horse manure. What a worry. What a thing to be concerned about. Along came the motor car and solved this. Candlelight and gaslight were used extensively. Along came a filament, and we had electric lighting. Sending messages over 100 years ago was still by writing letters and a telegram. Then on February the 14th, 1876, Alexander Graham Bell was the first to patent a telephone. The person who invented the internal combustion engine spent most of their lives traveling by horseback or in carriages. The person who invented the light bulb spent most of their lives writing letters by candlelight. The person who invented the telephone spent most of their lives with a telegram. Human ingenuity hasn't peaked. I'll say that again. Human ingenuity hasn't peaked. We are correctly focusing a lot of time on this planet, and correctly so. Looking after it for future generations. Looking after it as God intended. The person who next invents the hydrogen engine, super efficient solar cells, safe, small nuclear power stations, wind turbines that can also adjust to differing wind speeds. That person will have spent and will spend most of their time using a petrol-driven car and using electricity from various power stations, which we would want to make more efficient and kinder to the planet in the future. And something that is linked to this, or hopefully you will see the link. Also over 100 years ago in London, 1/3 lived in abject poverty. 1/3 of the inhabitants of London did not know where their next meal was coming from, worried about diseases, war, losing a home, losing a job. With the increased wealth and general well-being, a society can look further than the next meal. Further includes looking after the planet. When a society is richer, they can afford to look at the effects of their actions and improve. And one quote I'd like you to remember: only the wealthy can plant a tree to look at. Those living in poverty can only look for their next meal. So how can we support the persons who will solve the problems that we see before us? The person who solved the problem of horse manure needed a safe place to live with food, goods, family life, cared for and provided, not just by a state, but by other individuals. The same would go for the person with the light bulb, the telephone, the new engine, the windmill, the solar panel, in today's world. So what is the best thing to do? What is the best way forward? What is the best plan of action? Work as hard as you can in your chosen field. BISJ has given you the tools, and hopefully you will obtain the grades necessary for the next step in your journey. Work as hard as you are able, developing the talents you have, exploring new talents, to leave your mark on this world. Everyone in this room believes, knows, and expects great things from you. Do the best you can. The best way forward, use your talents to the full. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Williams. I now have the great honour of introducing our first student speaker of the evening, Miss Yasmin Al-Saud. Tonight, Yasmin will read for us a poem entitled Over the Moon, written by herself. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Yasmin Al-Saud.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am so pleased to be standing here tonight in front of you all, celebrating the success of myself and my peers. I am very excited to share with you a poem I have written that best represents my journey through BISJ, a journey that will always remain close to my heart. Before I begin, I would like to dedicate this moment to my wonderful mother, my father, and to those who have stood by me. For if it was not for the support, I would not be where I am on this very night. The poem is called Over the Moon. Her shoulders weighed heavy with a burden unspoken, a struggle so daunting she felt broken. Her eyes showed a depth of anguish and pain as she fought to keep on through wind and through rain. When the skies turned gray and the world seems bleak, she says to herself that hope is what she seeks, that it is the light at the end of the tunnel, the future's promise, a bright, hopeful bundle. Late into night, she would often roam, lost in thoughts of memories warm. And in that beautiful shadow, she found hope, and in your gaze, a new dawn, wide awake. She thought you were just her moon and light, but you were her day and breathtaking night. Your strength and beauty made everything right, and in your embrace, she found her might. Now, she stands tall, and she faces each day, and will never forget the warmth of your ways, with the resilience you helped her find, as she continues to grow and thrive. The road ahead may be rough and steep, and at times, she may stumble and weep, yet with faith as her guiding light, she knows she can conquer any fight, for with the belief that there is a higher power and the strength to face any challenge of any hour, knowing that she can overcome anything that comes her way and be over the moon when she leaves the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Yasmin, for that wonderful poem. There's some lovely sentiments there that reflect, I think, the momentous occasion of the evening and the experience of the IB. I would now like to call Saba Shaif to the podium. Since joining us in September of 2019, Saba has been a shining example of hard work and enthusiasm. She's added much to the success of the IB2 cohort, and it is with great pleasure that I introduce her as our Arabic speaker for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Saba Shaif.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. هناك مقولة أفريقية شهيرة تقول أن تربية طفل واحد تتطلب قرية بأكملها. معنى هذا أن تربية طفل واحد جهد لا يمكن استكماله بنجاح إلا من خلال الجهود الجماعية. فكل طفل شارك في تربيته مجتمع من الناس. ومن خلال هذه المقولة أود أن أتقدم بالشكر لكل شخص ساهم في تعليمنا وتوجيهنا. أنا سبا شايف وأود أن أتقدم بخالص الشكر لكل شخص في المدرسة البريطانية ساهم في دعمنا وإرشادنا وتحفيزنا إلى وصول لهذه المرحلة. ونود نحن الطالبات والطلاب الصف الثالث ثانوي أن نتقدم بجزيل الشكر لمن قال فيهم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: فضل العالم على العابد كفضل فضل القمر ليلة البدر على سائر الكواكب. وقال الشاعر: قم للمعلم وفيه تبجيلا، كاد للمعلم أن يكون رسولا. مدرستنا ومدرسينا الذين ألهمونا بتواضعهم ورغبتهم الشديدة في رؤيتنا لتغيير العالم. وأريد أن أشكر لمن كان لهم الفضل الأول بعد الله في وصولنا لهذه المرحلة، وقد قال الله تعالى فيهم: وقضى ربك ألا تعبد إلا بالوالدين إحسانا. إلى صديقتي وحبيبتي ونصف الآخر ورفيقة دربي، إلى المرأة الرائعة ومصدر إلهامي، إلى من استمديت منها دماء حياتي، أمي الغالية. لم تعطني والدتي أي فكرة أنني لا أستطيع أن أفعل ما أريده أو أن أكون أي شخص أريد أن أكون. أعطتني أعظم هدية: الإيمان بنفسي. لقد تعلمت من والدتي من والدتي التي ليس هي جزء مني فحسب، بل جزء من كل شخص أحببته. علمتني الحب هو قول وفعل، وأنا كل ما وصلت إليه كان لك الفضل فيه بعد الله. في بعض الأحيان أتمنى أن أرى العالم من خلال عينك، ولكن أخاف أن أفقد جمال رؤيتك في عيني أنا. وفي خلال هذه 18 عاما التي علمتني فيها، لقد لم أعتقد أنها تعلم أن أكثر شخص أريد أن أكون هي والدي الحبيب، سندي وعالمي. يا من تعلمت منك أن أفق صامدة أمام أي شيء يواجهني. شخصيتي التي أنا عليها هي انعكاس لما تعلمته منك. لا توجد كلمات كافية للحب الذي بداخلي من أجلك. أصدقائي ورفقائي دربي في مرحلتي الدراسية، قد كانت التجربة الدراسية في المدرسة البريطانية فريدة من نوعها ومميزة بسببكم. أود أن أخبركم فنحن كجيل 2023 فريدون بطريقتنا الخاصة، ويجب أن نتعلم أن لا نرقى أبدا إلى مستوى توقعات أي شخص آخر. كل شخص منا يستحق أكثر من أي شيء في هذا العالم، فشخصياتكم وابتساماتكم وقلبكم الذي لديه القدرة على الاحتفاظ بالكثير من الخير واللطف. ويمكنني أؤكد لكم بأنه بسبب الحب الذي تلقيناه فنحن جاهزين للخروج وإكمال الرحلة الدراسية والوصول لأهدافنا. فنحن لدينا القوة والصبر والعاطفة للوصول إلى النجوم وتغيير العالم. شكرا.
Thank you very much for that, Saba. I'd now like to call Lilia Credia to the stage. Lilia is about to demonstrate the family spirit of BISJ in a remarkable way. She will read a poem that her own mother read upon her graduation from what was then Conti 28 years ago. Lilia's poem will be followed by NGL Hoss performing a musical interlude of the evening. NG first joined us in year 6 and then rejoined us for the IB programme. And we're delighted she's here to share her talented voice this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please first welcome Lilia Credia, followed then by NGL Hoss.
BISJ has been such an important part of my life, even before I was born, as not only did I grow into the person I am because of this school, but it was in Conti that my parents met and started their life together. So today, I want to honor not just the class of 2023's journey, but the journeys of all classes that came before us and found a place to call home through Conti's community. The poem I'm about to read to you is a poem that my mother wrote many years ago in 1995 when she graduated from this very school and read aloud to her graduating class. Enjoy. One by one, we file through that doorway leading to our new lives. One by one, we all smile, just one last smile. One by one, we all laugh, just one last laugh. Today, we throw our differences behind us. Today, we throw our frowns away as we come together on our very last day. Just one last time, we stand, one by one. In this moment, we are unified as we prepare for our journey in the long run. Because tomorrow, we are on our own, with nothing but our precious memories of the years we've grown. For this time, when we say bye, it means goodbye and take care, as we each walk our different paths, leaving Conti behind to stare. So here's to the future that lies ahead and the adventures waiting to be tread. Thank you.
Today marks a significant milestone in our lives. It marks the end of our journey at BISJ as we stand at the threshold of a new beginning. Looking back at our high school experience, we have come a long way in just a few years. We've had many lessons learned, and we now have the power to create the future we desire and take on a new chapter in our lives. Along the way, we have faced many challenges, like having to restart IAs because none of our experiments seemed to be working, or staying up all night finishing EEs. The work was endless. This is our first real break since our first day in IB1. You'd think 2 years is a long time until you're trying to fit the huge IB syllabus in just 80 weeks. And to top off our busy schedule, leave it up to Miss Nazwani to never give us a break with her insane amount of homework. Although we suffered then, we all thank you now. Perhaps one of the most important lessons that IB taught us is that nothing that's worthwhile is ever easy. It all paid off when we finally submitted our UCAS applications and celebrated with Mr. Sturek and Ms. Kaplo in their office. We have learned the importance of hard work, perseverance, and commitment. We have made friends who have become family, and we have found mentors who have inspired us to become our best selves. To our teachers, thank you for your guidance, dedication, and faith in us. We know that we are not easy to handle. Your encouragement and patience has helped us to reach these heights. You have worked tirelessly, going above and beyond to support, educate, and inspire us. To our families, thank you for putting up with us, and thank you for always being there for us in our best and worst of times, and for never leaving our side. Thank you for your endless love and unrelenting motivation and encouragement to help us grow. This year was full of lasts for us. Our last sports day, our last international day, and of course, our last day of school. And while it is bittersweet, moving forward, our path is only paved with firsts. Our first time living alone in a new country, our first time going to lecture halls, or our first time doing our own laundry. Looking ahead, the future is not something we predict, it's something we build. It may sound daunting, not knowing where the future lies, but it's okay not to know. It's time to replace that anxiety with excitement. It may seem that we have learned a lot from IB, and while we have, there's still so much for us to discover. Now is the time to learn what we want to be if we haven't figured it out, or follow our dreams if we have. We will face many obstacles as we pursue our dreams. There will be doubts, there will be fear, and there will be mistakes along the way. But we must remember that we are braver than we think, more talented than we know, and capable of more than we can imagine. With self-confidence and perseverance, there is no limit to what we can achieve. And always remember that the future comes one day at a time anyway. As we leave BISJ, let us take with us the lessons we have learned, the friendships we have made, and the memories we have created. Let us carry them with us as we embark on this new stage in our lives. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. Go get on your way. Thank you.
Thank you, Eva, and congratulations again on that award. Now, at this point, it would be customary to have our honorary guest. Our honorary guest was an ex-student called Gerard Murphy, who has an important life story to tell us all. However, unfortunately, he's not been able to make it here in time tonight, although we do hope that we can put his video and his speech and his inspirational words into the videos that are sent out following graduation. As he's not present, we're going to move on to the presentation of the individual awards. So we're going to be looking at, first of all, the School Visions Awards. Now, these are given to a handful of students, and they're exceptionally deserving members of the academic year group. These awards are given to students who demonstrate the school's vision of learning to live, learn, and lead. These awards are presented to the IB2 students who've shown particular commitment to one or more of these areas. And we're looking at learning to live, learning to learn, and learning to lead. I'd like to call Mr. El Hoss to the stage to help to present the Learning to Live Awards. So this award is given to the student who embraces diversity, is self-disciplined, is focused on solutions, not problems. This year, the Learning to Live Award goes to Noor Mokhtar. So I should note as well that these awards, the students actually don't know they're getting them. So, next up, congratulations to Noah and thank you, Mr. Elhos. I'd now like to invite Mr. Wakeford to the stage to present the Learning to Learn Award. This award goes to the student who works well independently, shows perseverance, and acts upon advice. This year, the Learning to Learn Award goes to Zainab Al-Sari. Congratulations, Zainab, and thank you, Mr. Wakeford. I'd now like to call on our Student Leadership Coordinator, Ms. Beiruti, to the stage to present the Learning to Lead Award. This award goes to the student who shows genuine leadership, is organised, reliable, and shows continuous initiative. This year's Learning to Lead Award goes to Lilia Credir. Congratulations, Lilia, and thank you, Ms. Beiruti. I'd now like to call our Head of Senior School, Mr. Scott, onto the stage to present the Overall Vision Award. The Overall Vision Award goes to the student who demonstrates all 3 vision attributes. This is the highest award bestowed upon a student, and as recipient of this award has shown the most development in all areas of learning to live, lead, and learn. This year, the Overall Vision Award goes to Mohammed Fadlala. Congratulations, Mohammed, and thank you, Mr. Scotton. I'd now like to call our University Guidance Counsellor, Mr. Sturrock, to the stage to present the Darlison Award. The Darlison Award is presented every year to the student who improves the most academically from IB1 through IB2. This year, the recipient of the award was able to improve a massive 6 points across the IB Diploma programme. This year, the Darlison Award for Most Improved Student goes to Javier Stillhart. Congratulations, Javier, and thank you, Mr. Sturrock. I'd now like to call our CAS coordinator, Ms. Tonelli, to the stage to present the CAS Award for 2023. The recipient of this award has shown commitment to school life and the school community in their participation in the CAS programme. They've been involved in a wide variety of CAS experiences over the course of the last 2 years, most notably as a leading member of the Empower Her project, interning at hospitals and clinics, running a reading project in the primary school, as well as a broad involvement in student projects throughout the 2 years of her IBDP time. I would like to ask Sheza Aladdin to come forward to accept the CAS Award. Congratulations, Sheza, and thank you, Ms. Tonelli. I would now like to ask our third set of student speakers for the evening to come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome Zainab Al-Sari and Mohammed Fadlala.
Hello again. Hello parents, families, members of the royal family. As you said, my name is Mohammed Fadlala, also known as MF. And I'm honored to do this speech as I've been in the school for the past 14 years of my life.
And my name is Zainab Al-Saadi, and I've been at BISJ for 15 years, BU. And we are honored to be the student speakers for the class of 2023. Now, this may come as a surprise to you all, but between the endless hours of work we all put in this year, we did have a few seconds left to ourselves. These seconds will be what we reflect on as the memories we created together. Some were funny, some were unforgettable, and some were just strange, but more on that later.
I mean, definitely one of the most memorable things are the friendships we've made throughout the 2 years of IB. So I think it's only right that we start with the most iconic duos of our year. Firstly, we have the Fizza-Fiza duo, which many struggle to tell apart, even though I think it's obvious that, Fiza is the taller one, right?
MF, no. Moving on, we have Ahmed Squared, also known as Ahmed Sabalbal and Abul Hassan, who were always attached at the hip. And we also have Rayan and Ghafoor, who were never seen apart.
But how can we forget Chavi and I?
How can we forget? You both were always entering the class sweaty after playing basketball during breaks and your free periods.
I personally think that's better than stress about EEs or IAs, but we can argue about that later. Together, we all faced the challenges of the IB program, and we have some stories of how our IAs went slightly off track in many different ways. I mean, firstly, we have Ryan, who messed up his math IA figures. Wait, if I remember correctly, Ryan, it goes figure 1, then figure 4, then 5. Honestly, I've never seen Mr. Donsmore look more baffled. And then we have Abdurrahman, who took a whole year to write his sports science IA, definitely proving that IB is a marathon and not a sprint.
And don't forget, we have NG, who restarted her chemistry IA on the last week before school ended, with only 3 days to write it. I think Ms. Young definitely lost a couple of years from that. And that was just a glimpse into the disasters and freakouts we had. Ikram freaked out over melted ice cream. Adnan kept freaking out about where to apply to. And Jenna freaked out over her 100% Turnitin score.
Okay. I mean, trust me, we all really do love all of our teachers, and I mean that from my heart. Some were our role models, others were like our mothers. Shout out to Ms. Safi. But more times than not, we were definitely driving them all crazy, especially our IB teachers, in many different ways too. There's Ali Amin, who never was at the UGS office when Mr. Sark needed him. There's Ali Dahlawi, who Mr. Young had to constantly try and wake up. That was most of the year, so it's not only Ali, don't worry. And how can we forget our very own Aya Abdurrahman, who drove Mr. Young out of his mind with her spontaneous plans for a year.
But at least one of the plans worked out, and we got to go to the desert, where we realized who were essential to have at a good party. We have Shayan with his killer dance moves. We have Ahmed Abul Hassan, not even the ceiling could hold him.
And we have obviously Begumai, our own personal DJ, who kept us dancing all night. After the ceremony is over, I'm going to need that playlist, by the way.
Another thing that we had to deal with in our class was the stress of IB, obviously. We all had different ways of coping with it, but some were more extreme than others. We have Shaza and Lara, who decided that a boxing career was in their path. We also have Sharaf, who was sleep deprived for the whole entire 2 years. And we have, of course, the HL math class. We formed a trauma bond that cannot be broken. Thank you, Mr. Dunsmore.
That is an understatement, by the way. But we also had some very emotional moments throughout our 2 years. And trust me, when I say this, we all cried on the last day of school. But the person who cried the most was a surprise to us all. Right, Ahmed Sabalbal?
We also have to admit, being on time was an issue for our year group. We have had some very creative excuses for being late, and some even sounded believable. We have 2 people, Reem and Zach, who were so late that they missed the graduation photo and had to be photoshopped in.
I mean, even Judy, we had a personal prediction board for her in our room on whether she would show up on time or not every day. And then there's the man himself, Muhammad Al-Nuwaisar, who showed up late and still always forgot he needed a bag to school. There's obviously honorable mentions goes to Sarah, Yasmin Al-Saud, Habib, Rana, who are also late about 99.9999% of the time.
A large part of our year group also developed a love for chess. It took over our year group, and some people actually got really good at it.
Yeah, then Ahmed could be claimed to have a 100% accuracy game, which whatever that means. We also have Sari, who possibly spent more time playing chess than studying for finals.
We also had our resident photographers, Lilia, who showed up with a different camera every week, even one made out of paper. There's MF as well. I don't know what he's going to do without the UGS camera.
Neither do I. I'm gonna miss that camera, by the way. But there's also, obviously also Seba, who produced really memorable photos, but unfortunately they were never centered or had fingers in each and every single photo.
You know, I never realized how strange life could get until I saw Noor dressing up as Elmo. And Lara and Jude deciding to go the emo route for Throwback Thursday.
It's gonna be hard to forget that one. But before I forget, there's this one thing I'm never gonna forget, which is the smell of Nick's food. Don't get me wrong, it was really delicious, but it really made us all gag. And then obviously we have Jad, who always made sure that his food arrives at his house before he arrives. And as well as all the health issues in our year group. We had Yara. Her battle with football was tough, but she made it out alive, however, unable to walk with a huge cast on her leg. And then we have Adnan, who tore his ACL, and of course Zainab, my co-speaker, who couldn't sit down for 2 years.
Exams were difficult, let alone not being able to sit down properly. But I'm sure Omar, Ilya, and Max sat enough on that common room couch for all of us. But what I won't forget is Renata miraculously showing up midweek with a tan.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw those couches being free. But let's talk about the different personalities in our year group. We have a lot of different personality types, but a lot of them were either shy or clumsy.
The clumsy ones were Eva, who dropped coffee more times than she drank it, which says a lot. And of course, we have Selma, everyone's favorite daydreamer. Our shy members of the group are, of course, Azima, as well as Melissa, who lost her ability to speak when trying to talk to Mr. Young, and Ilyana, who wrote a whole TOK exhibition, but wasn't even able to present it because she's too shy to talk to anyone.
Wait, didn't Yasmin take 2 years to write her exhibition?
Yeah, she did.
And now, the last thing we wanted to share was how passionate some of us about certain things. First of all, we have Ramona, who believes that staying in school till 5:30 is essential, which, by the way, I agree, to finish IAs and EEs. And then we have Ismail, who believes WhatsApp is the best form of arguing within the year group.
And don't forget, we have Leal, close your ears, Mr. Sturek, who has been trying to encourage everyone to take a gap year. These are just some of the things that made our class of 2023 unique and special. We hope you all enjoyed hearing about them as much as we enjoyed living them. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Zainab. Thank you, Mohammed. I can confirm that you're all very unique and very special, but we might have different understandings of those words. Okay? Now, I'd like to get on with the process of awarding the diplomas. I'd like to call Mr. Williams, Mr. El Hoss, and Mr. Wakeford back to the stage for the awarding of the graduation diplomas. Practice this, right? Ladies and gentlemen, and the class of 2023, can I please ask the back row to be upstanding? Better. Okay. So can I please have Mohammed Al-Nawaisa? Next, we have Ilya Notkin. And Ilya will be going to Marbella University for International Business. Next, we have Javier Stillhart, University of St. Gallen, Business Administration. Abdulrahman Guled, Southampton, Accounting and Finance. Ahmad Sabalbal, Holt University, Business Administration. Mohammed Fadlala, University of Bristol, Mechanical Engineering. Mohammed Ghafoor, University of Nottingham, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Adnan Albana, Queen Mary University, Marketing. Yasmin Hamara, University of Manchester, Biochemistry. Max Mateus, McEwan University, Business Management. Ikram Karoubi, University of Toronto, Biotechnology. Ali Amin, Munich Business School, Business. Fizavasi, Ontario College of Art and Design, Advertising. Habib Zajeni, Queen Mary University, Economics. Rayan Akbar, University of Toronto, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Nicholas Fink, Technical University Munich, Mechanical Engineering. Ali Al-Dakhlawi, City University London, Investment and Financial Risk Management. Sari Fagiha, University College London, Computer Science. Ahmad Abul Hassan, Imperial College London, Biomedical Technical Ventures. My apologies, Mohammed. I forgot to read your university out. City University London, Accounting and Finance. Can the back row please be seated? May I please ask the middle row to be upstanding? Ladies and gentlemen, Afnan Saim, University of Nottingham, Malaysia, Environmental Sciences. Begamai Ulan, University of Manchester, Material Science and Engineering. Jude Hakim, University of California, San Diego, Neurobiology and Behavior. Omar Alberini, Model University, Austria, Business. Sharaf Hababi, University of California, San Diego, Biochemistry. Shayan Rias, Durham University, Accounting and Finance. Zainab Al-Sari, University of Bristol, Law. Melissa Abed, Royal Holloway, Economics. Ramon Ahmad, Met Film School Berlin, Film Production. Sheza Aladdin, Undecided, Medicine. Al-Judi Al-Bunain, Undecided. Sarah Raffa, Webster University, Geneva, Psychology. Ilyana Zareh, University of Sussex, Marketing and Management with Psychology. Layal Mokhtar, who will be taking a gap year in Nepal and Sri Lanka, teaching monks English and helping renovate schools. Zakaria Ahmed, City University London, Business Management, Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Reem Al-Shamrani, City University London, Business and Entrepreneurship. Aya Abdurrahman, University of Amsterdam, Computational Social Science. Jad Mahmood, Greenwich University, Hospitality and Management. Can the second row please be seated? Can I please ask the front row to be upstanding? Ismail Garcia, Temple University, Philadelphia, Business Administration. Lilia Credia, McGill, Cognitive and Neuroscience. Eva Radicic, University College London, Pharmacy. Laura Dejani, University of Miami, Architecture. Yasmin El Saud, King's College London, Liberal Arts. Rana Al-Drubi, Politecnico di Milano, Architecture. Jenna Mokhtar, University of Surrey, International Hospitality and Tourism Management. Salma Al-Fadl, Instituto de Marinoni, Fashion Design. Faiza Rahman, University of Southampton, Psychology. Yara Al-Tabsh, King's College London, Digital Media and Culture. Azima Dulamit, Taylor University, Malaysia, Business and Marketing. Noor Mokhtar, Imperial College London, Biomedical Engineering. Renata Bukhari Gonzalez, University of Westminster, Sports Management. Saba Shaif, University College London, Global Humanitarian Studies. NGL Hoss, Nottingham Trent University, Psychology. Ahmad Kutbi, Ifat University, Computer Science. Can I now please ask the front row to be seated? Thank you very much, Mr. Williams. Okay, it's my great pleasure to now make my address to the graduates of 2023. So, thank you to everyone here for what's been a wonderful graduation so far. I think we can all be exceptionally proud of this graduating class, and I think they all deserve a round of applause. Okay, so the class of 2023, it does seem strange to see you all here today, but that's mainly because it's a long time since I've seen you all in one place at one time. I'm fairly sure some of you thought you graduated in February, okay? But it is fabulous to see you all up on the stage looking great. Last year, I shaped my speech around the idea of legacies, and what these meant, and how our students should always remember it's the everyday thoughts and the everyday deeds that shape our legacies and the actions that build them. This year, for the graduating class of 2023, I want to continue in a similar manner. Throughout your time at BISJ, you have always had someone to pick you up when you've fallen, to point you in the right direction when you've got lost, and to whisper words of encouragement in your ear when you're lacking faith in yourself. The entire community invested in you, chipping away at your rougher edges to help shape you into the people who sit here today. But that work is not done. The time has come for you to leave BISJ, to take brave new steps, to explore new places and build new lives, away from the protective cocoon that we have ensconced you in. This will be a huge change for many of you, but we hope that with the guidance we've given you and the lessons you've learned, that these will stand you in good stead for the future. We have high hopes for you. Every one of you is capable of doing amazing things. It's very important to recognize that and to remember it, but also to remember that none of these amazing things will happen on their own. If we think about the metaphor of life as a journey, there's a couple of important points that I think you always need to be aware of so you can reach your personal potential. Wherever you go and whatever you do, life will constantly offer you different routes that take in wildly different experiences along the way. It's up to you to figure out which route is your best bet. You'll usually find a simple path. Let's just call it the path of least resistance. This one will seem easy, almost effortless. But this path will be an illusion that will lead you astray. It will not add value to you as a person. In fact, it may even diminish you. Nobody is faultless. I think it's important to know that. Every single person in this room has taken that path of least resistance at some point. But what's important is when you do that, that the wisdom you gain from that path is that this was the wrong move. And this is what I need to do to improve next time. Okay? Acknowledge that it's a mistake. Acknowledge that things can be done differently and can be done better. And then you will begin to grow as a person. Finding the right way, though, and resolutely sticking to that path. It is hard work, and it needs your constant attention, your focus, your persistence, the challenges you will face in keeping to this path. These are the things that will add value to you as people. They will bring you important experience and wisdom. You should never fear when the way ahead looks uncertain. There will always be points when you don't know where to go, but you always have a community to fall back on your school and your friends and your families. Taking on life's challenges and accepting whatever it throws at you, but always forging forwards, is how that you can build the resilience, the personality, the integrity, and the depth of character that allows you to be a person capable of leaving lasting, positive legacies. The value in your life is not what you have, but it is who you are. Everyone here has the capacity to be admired by others and to achieve genuine excellence. But you absolutely have to work at that non-stop. Like I said earlier, these things will not just happen to you. You have to make them happen. Your life's goal should always be to be someone who is respected, someone who others can turn to in their hour of need, someone who is wise, caring, generous, compassionate, honest, and principled. These are all traits that every single one of you possess. But to make them grow, to make them a permanent part of your being, you must expose them to those life's challenges on those more difficult pathways, to expose them to hard work, to difficulties, because honestly, nothing ever worth having was earned the easy way. Remember to always have faith that you can take the path that is littered with obstacles, and you can best it, because everyone who's invested their time, their love, their effort, their knowledge believes that you can. So you must believe as well. Let each of these people who's helped to shape you, revel in your successes, support you in your challenges as you grow and prosper all over the world. Now what I want to see you do is I want you to step out into the world. I want you to go and make a difference to the world. Go and make it better, because it absolutely needs people like you to do that. It needs you to be on your A game. Thank you. And now Mr. Williams is going to give a short address to help us finish off graduation.
Very sorry for this interruption. The best laid plans, and things can definitely go wrong, and they have a little bit tonight. We had a former student last year speak to us, and that was fantastic to see her growth and what she'd managed to do over the years. And we had another former student that we had hoped to come and speak, and hoped to be here on time. Came in last night on a plane from the UK. And we're supposed to be picked up from the hotel at 4:30 to come and speak to us. All of you will remember him. He spoke to you by the television, Gerard Murphy. It's somebody who's a former student of ours. You heard Mr. Young speak about the path of least resistance, and sometimes we all try and make the easy way out. Gerard suffered an accident when he was with some friends. He jumped into a pool and broke his neck and doesn't have the use of his arms and legs. He did that before his last year at university. Some of you will remember a few years ago we raised some money and sent some for his care and attention. He went ahead and finished his last year at university and then went on to study his master's in Edinburgh. He's somebody who also does a little bit of work for Saudia because his Arabic is excellent. We arranged to pick him up at 4:30, and as I said about the best laid plans, he should have been here well in advance. He will be about 15 to 20 minutes. If I can ask, if we do finish off, I know there are some food outside, but I think for a young man who has not taken the path of least resistance, but has fought very well, and even though the lift that we'd arranged didn't turn up, managed to, on his own initiative, grab something to be here. He'll be here in about 15 to 20 minutes. If you could, I'd like you to, when we finish, come back in 15 minutes' time to hear what he has to say. You can see the ramp over here specifically built for him to be able to do that. I know some of you will have other things to do, but he's been desperately communicated. You might have seen me diving in and out. I don't normally do that sort of thing, but we would love to have him come and speak to us. And I think that all of us here should and will benefit from his speech. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone for attending this very, very special and momentous occasion. I do hope that you have enjoyed the evening. Please do remain seated so that students can exit the hall and then make your way to join the graduates at the back of the ballroom where we can all celebrate together. And then ideally we'll come back in 15 to 20 minutes to see Gerard's speech, or to hear Gerard's speech. The class of 2023, congratulations on completing your high school education. Please switch your tassels to the left. Your Royal Highnesses, parents, esteemed guests, Board of Trustees, teachers, students, I'm pleased to present to you the British International School of Jeddah's Graduates 2023.